Hey everyone, I'm Chase of Rocky Mountain ATP MC, and today I'm going to teach you how to play RMFantasySX. Hello and welcome. I am Chase here at Rocky Mountain, and today I'm going to teach you out there how to play RMFantasySX. Now, if you've never played before, well, let me just tell you right now, it is an absolute blast. And if you ask me, nothing makes Monster Energy Supercross more exciting than when you're playing RMFantasySX. If you played last year, the gameplay for this year is going to be pretty similar, but there are some notable changes that we do want to cover in this video. Now, for the 2020 season, we are giving away over $100,000 in prizes, including a Race Prep KTM 450 SXF for our first place finisher and a Race Prep KTM 250 SX for our second place finisher, along with a lot of awesome prizes throughout the year. And the best part about it, it is absolutely free. You heard me right. It does not cost anything to play RMFantasySX. So to get started and create your free account, it's very simple. You can just click on the link in this video or go over to RMFantasySX.com. Now, playing RMFantasySX, it is really simple. All you need to do is just log in each week before the race and pick who you think will finish in the top 5 spots for that race. Now, there is also a wild card, but that wild card does change every week. So it's very important that each time you log into your account, you want to see what position the wild card will be for that round. Now, a couple new things that you'll see this season. We've actually sorted the rider list on the drop-down menu. So while you're making your picks for your top 5 in that wild card, you'll actually see the more popular riders first. Now, the reason we've done that is just to make it a little bit easier, a little bit faster for you to make your picks. We've also put easy-to-use links on there so you can see past race results, you can see live practice times, and also you can see a live timing table right there on the Fantasy website. So now let's talk about points and how those are awarded after each week. Now, for each correct pick that you get inside the top 5, you will get the same amount of points as the rider who finished in that position. So if you pick first place correctly, you get 26 points. If you get second place, that's 23, third is 21, fourth is 19, and fifth is 18. Now, that wild card spot, that's pretty special because if you get the wild card correctly, you get the same amount of points as first place, which is 26. Now, I'm sure a lot of you who have played fantasy before have been there, where I've done it plenty of times. You have riders in your top 5 that you picked, and they finish just a spot or 2 away from where you picked them. That's okay, because you can still earn points for that. So for this year, something new. If you pick a rider in your top 5 and he only finishes 1 place away from where you picked him, you still get 10 points. So if you picked Eli Tomac to win and he gets second, you still get 10 points. If you picked him for fourth, he gets fifth, you get 10 points. And for every rider that you pick and you guess correctly in your top 5, but is 2 or more positions away, you still get 5 points. So if you pick, say, Blake Baggett for second place and he gets fourth, you're going to get 5 points. But that wild card, that one's special. You have to get that one exactly correct to get the maximum amount of points of 26. Your 2 lowest scores are going to be dropped at the end of the year, and throughout the year, at least 1 round is going to be a double points round. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we give away a ton of awesome prizes, including 100 weekly prizes. So even if you do get a late start to the season, you always have a chance to win a weekly prize. Now, continuing on from last year, we have our calendar notification functionality, which means with just a few clicks, you can add the entire Supercross schedule to the device of your choice. And doing so will give you notifications prior to each round with helpful links to help you make your picks, and it just helps you to make sure that you always get your picks in on time for each round. Now, one thing that is very important, especially when it comes to prizes, is you want to be aware of how early you submit your picks for each week, because in the event of a tie, the tiebreaker will be based off the player that has the earliest timestamp. Now, if you make your picks throughout the week and you want to change them later on, that is totally fine. You can change your picks all the way up until the night show begins, but you just have to remember that every time you change your picks, it will update your timestamp. Now, to get the most out of RMFantasySX, let me tell you how. Browse the list of available groups. You can join up to 5 groups at a time, and you can also create your own groups. And when you create those groups, you can have them either open to the public so that anyone can join, or you can have them password protected, so just that you, your family, and your friends can join them. Now, with group play this year, there's some new cool functionality that we want to talk about. First of all, if you just click on scroll to my score, you will go right to your score in your group to see how you stand up against other players. Also, it will be highlighted, just making it easier to find. Also new for this year, if you're a group creator, at any point during the year, if you want to, you can lock your group. and you can do this for public or for password-protected groups. Now, as long as you have at least 5 players in your group, you can see how your team's average score stacks up to other groups. And one of my favorite features is the message board functionality, which makes it easy for you to bench race, talk about your team's strategy, as well as your team's ranking. Now, there's a few other things with RMFantasySX that you might want to check out. The overall leaderboard shows who's at the top so far in the season, and the weekly leaderboard will show who won a weekly prize in that previous round. You can also see all the season and weekly prizes at any point, along with the game's rules and the game's schedule. Now, here's my favorite part, RMFantasySXperts. If you want an easy way to help make your picks each and every week, subscribe to the Rocky Mountain YouTube channel, hit that notification bell, and watch myself and my co-host Christian, where we go through, we give you stats on riders, we give you stats on tracks, we give you all the information that you need to help make your top 5 picks and that wild card. Now remember, playing RMFantasySX is easy and it is free, and it makes Monster Energy Supercross even more exciting than it already is. So make sure, get signed up and get started today.